Green Sparrow Properties and Fair Home Offer KC, your number one source for selling your home quickly with no real estate agents, no fees, and a very hassle-free process here in Kansas City. Today we're going to be talking about what do you do if your tenant stops paying rent on your Kansas City home. Being a landlord can be a fun business endeavor, a great way to flex your entrepreneurial spirit, and a fantastic tool for wealth building. However, it's not without its downsides. Being an investor generally means that you have a mortgage still on the property and you're not just raking in the dough, contrary to popular opinion. So when a tenant stops paying rent, that can put you in a really bad situation. Additionally, there are a lot of rules and regulations here in Kansas City that go to protect the tenants. Now, those are in place for a good reason to stop predatory landlording, but when you're the victim of a tenant who won't pay their rent under a fair and equitable contract, then you can be the one that's left holding the bag, which is a very frustrating situation. So let's talk about a few things that you can do to fix this situation if you are in the place where a tenant stops paying rent. The first thing that you can do, which is not something I recommend, is that you can simply wait and see if it gets better. By waiting, hopefully the situation with the tenant, oftentimes they're going to tell you a story, I just got laid off, but I have a new job lined up. I have the check in the mail, etc., etc. There's usually a backstory here for these people. And I find that people that don't pay rent tend to be the kind of people that procrastinate because somebody that's really on top of their game would have probably let you know well beforehand, hey, I'm going to have this issue, can we work something out? But if they just stop paying, well, you got to ask yourself, they weren't proactive about addressing the situation with you in the first place. What makes you think they're proactive about addressing it on the back end? You can hope that things get better and wait it out, but it's not a strategy that I would recommend. The next thing that you can do is go ahead and start the eviction process. Here in Kansas City, although there are regulations and laws to protect tenants, it's a relatively landlord-friendly state, and the eviction process, while stressful and time-consuming, is fairly straightforward. If you're dealing with a property manager, they most likely have lawyers on staff and are familiar with this process. If you're doing it yourself, I would recommend that you reach out to a local Kansas City lawyer. Let us know if you need help with this. The next thing that you can do is go ahead and renegotiate the payment terms of your contract. Kind of a clever tactic here is to move them from a monthly payment schedule to a bi-weekly payment schedule. Because there are 12 months in a year, but 26 bi-weekly payment periods, you're actually booking in an extra month of payments there. The smaller amounts can make it a little more manageable for the tenants, although it is the same and slightly even more money. Having it on a more frequent basis in a smaller amount is a more digestible way for someone to approach building up the money to be able to pay you for the rent. I would recommend, if you go this approach, though, to get everything in writing, absolutely draft up a new contract or an addendum to your existing contract. And even if you do all those things, it may be better just to start the eviction process because it's not likely, depending on their specific circumstance, that they're going to be able to suddenly come up with additional money. The fourth option that you have is a really popular one and one that I'm a huge fan of called cash for keys. So it is actually quite literally just giving them cash in exchange for the keys to the property. So you may pay them $1,000 or $2,000 to ask them to vacate the property within the week. Now you'll have to forego the rent that is owed, or perhaps you can just say, hey, I will cancel all of your rent, but I really need you out within the week. However, tenants know that they have some rights here and can become kind of squatters waiting for the formal eviction. So it's not a bad idea to go ahead and even pay them to leave. Now, this might seem kind of offensive. Why in the heck would I pay somebody money who owes me money? But by doing so, you might engender some goodwill, meaning that they're going to take care of the property and leave it in good condition, which can really reduce your expenses on the back end. It may motivate them to get out of the property much quicker than they would if you just wait for the eviction or wait for them to leave or wait for the situation to play out. And all that combined means you can actually save quite a bit of money and time and get somebody back in there that will be a good rent-paying tenant. Of course, the last option is that you can go ahead and just sell the property. You will still need to deal with the eviction and most likely getting the tenant out of there if they are not paying. However, our company, Green Sparrow Properties, Fair Home Offer KC, we specialize in taking over properties from landlords who have non-paying tenants. We're happy to go ahead and take over that eviction process. Our property managers are more than skilled at doing that, and we have no problems building that into our terms and contracts to be able to take this off of your hands. So if you're tired of dealing with a tenant that isn't paying their rent and it's a really distressing situation for you, you want a quick, easy solution to be able to get out and move on with your life, please give us a call, 816-800-9238. You can also visit us at fairhomeofferkc.com. If there's anything we can do to help you out of the situation, please let us know. Looking forward to talking with you and hope that you have a great day.